Greetings, Daily Dragons. This is Miss Coach, and welcome back as I recap some more chapters to our core novel, Esperanza Rising. We are in week 5 of our distance learning, and your assignment for this week is to read chapters 11 and 12. Chapter 11 is titled Las Aguacates, which means the avocados, and chapter 12 is titled Los Esparragos, which means the asparagus. So let's jump right in. Esperanza has been getting into the groove of working hard and earning money and saving her money so that she can pay for Mama's hospital bills and to save up for Abuelita's return. Now she's been working so hard that her hands have become dried and cracked and basically unrecognizable. Now this is when Hortensia brings back her recipe to soften hands using avocados, and she used to do it for Mama. Now on the weekends, Esperanza goes to visit Mama, and on this particular weekend, Miguel drives her there. In the hallway, doctor stops Esperanza and tells her that Mama has contracted pneumonia, and therefore Esperanza is not allowed to visit Mama for a couple weeks. Of course, Esperanza asks the doctor if it's okay for just a moment, and she takes that moment to tell Mama that she's not giving up and that she'll continue to work hard to earn money to save up for the hospital bills and for Abuelita's return. Now, on their drive back to the camp, they see Marta walking with her mom, and they decide to pick them up and give them a ride. During the ride, Marta tells them both about the upcoming strike because Marta feels that it's unfair for workers to work for such low wages. Now, for Esperanza, she has no choice to work. She must continue to work to save money for Mama's hospital bills and for Abuelita's return. And by the end of the chapter, Miguel has great news. He has finally secured a job with the railroads. So now in chapter 12, titled Los Esparragos, is the start of asparagus season. And of course, the strikers decide to strike during this season to make the most impact. Now the strike takes a toll on a lot of the workers because these strikers are placing dangerous objects like razor blades and rats and snakes in the bins where the asparagus have been harvested. And fortunately, none of the workers are hurt. Now the strike continues on for days, and there's a moment where Esperanza recognizes that she doesn't hear any of the strikers anymore. Now when they go out to look, they see these buses, and they see La Migra, which is the immigration agency that comes to deport people. And so everyone is running, and immigration has captured many of the strikers and have put them on the buses to send them back to Mexico. Fortunately, the workers were protected, and so none of the workers were taken onto the buses. As they continue working, bundling the asparagus, Esperanza runs out of rubber bands, and so she walks to one of the crates in the back to look for rubber bands. And lo and behold, she finds Marta hiding. And Marta is telling her, shh, please don't tell anybody. And of course, Esperanza remembers the first time when she met Marta and how Marta mistreated her. And she could have easily told everyone that Marta was there. But she remembered the image of Marta walking with her mama holding hands, and she realized that she doesn't want to separate Marta from her mama. So instead, she finds burlap sacks to give to Marta, as well as a dirty old apron, so that Marta can wear the apron and pretend that she was one of the workers. Now, they leave that night, and she doesn't know if Marta makes it. But the next day, she asks Miguel to drive her out to Marta's camp. And they do so, and when they get there, no one is there. And at the very end, she notices something colorful hanging from the tree. And it was that piñata that she bought from the store that she wanted to save for Mama, but she ended up giving to the poor kids in Martha's camp. And that the piñata was hanging up in the tree, and it was beaten and destroyed with most of the innards open up. Right? And so that's the end of chapter 12. And so your assignment in your core novel packet is to do pages 18 through 20. And I'll review them really briefly. All right? And so page 18 starts out with vocabulary from chapters 11 and 12. And so your job is to use the context to determine the meaning of the underlined word in each of the following sentences. Then you will compare your definition with a dictionary definition. So you would read the sentence, you would try to determine what that word means using context, the clues from the sentence. You would write down your definition, and then you would get a dictionary and write down the official definition from the dictionary. Now, if you don't have a physical dictionary from home, guess what? You can use the computer. You can use the internet. Okay, so you can just search, you can do dictionary.com, and you can type up the word. So you have 7 words to look for. That's page 18. On page 19, we have questions to answer. So you will read to find out if Esperanza joins the fight. All right. And so there are 10 questions. Again, you may complete your assignment online on a line sheet of paper. Just remember to title it chapter 11 and 12, Los Aguacates and Los Esparragos. You don't have to write the question, but make sure you answer each question in complete sentences. And again, remember to restate the question in your answer. Right, so question 1 is, what evidence reveals that Esperanza did good work in the shed cutting potatoes for planting? So you would say, the evidence that reveals that Esperanza did good work in the shed cutting potatoes for planting was, and then you would state it. Okay? Now, our questions for discussion we will save for our Zoom meeting discussion, so you do not have to do that. Next, we have our literary devices. We will review symbolism. So your task is, what does the change in Esperanza's hand symbolize? Because before, her hands used to be soft, didn't have cracks, but now they do. What does it symbolize? Please write that in a complete sentence. And the second question to answer is, what does the damaged piñata on the tree symbolize? What does that mean? Right? They go to Martha's camp, and that's what they find. Right? They find nobody, but they find that damaged piñata. What does that symbolize? Okay. Now, on your final page, page 20, our literary devices continue. You will work on simile. Remember, simile compares two things, usually using as or like. Right? So what is being compared in the following simile? The picket signs lay on the ground, discarded, and like a mask of marbles that had already been hit, the strikers scattered into the fields. Right? So what is being compared? What two things? Right? And the second question asks, why is this an apt comparison? Apt, A-P-T. That means, the question means, is this a good comparison? Okay. Now, anytime you're not sure about a word, you have the internet as your resource. So go to dictionary.com and search up the word if you're not sure. Okay. We have science connection for your next part, which is do some research to learn about the disease of pneumonia. That P is silent. Okay. Find out why it is considered a dangerous illness and why it is even more dangerous in 1930 when Mama became ill. And we can actually make a connection to today because the coronavirus is causing pneumonia in the people who are getting really sick. Right? So there's your science connection. And finally, you will do a writing activity. You will imagine you are a reporter and write a news article about the striking farm workers. Remember that a reporter must be fair and present all sides in an issue. Your article should include a headline, a byline, your name, a dateline, date and place, a lead paragraph that tells the who, what, when, where, and why about the story, and 1 or 2 body paragraphs that contain other important details about the strike. Okay, so you can use the clues from chapter 12, Los Esparragos, to help you write your news article. And actually, at the very end, you will upload your news article onto Padlet, and I will include that link on your learning schedule. All right. As always, Daily Dragons, if you have questions, please reach out to Miss Coach or Miss Licto. Okay, you can reach out to us during our Zoom meetings or during Microsoft Teams. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.